Ivan Eland is a senior fellow at the Independent Institute and director of the Independent Institute Centre on Peace and Liberty, joining us now from Washington. Ivan, good to see you. First of all, just what did you make of Joe Biden's speech?
Well, it was a very good speech on his part. He's not a particularly good public speaker, but he rose to the occasion, I think. And, he didn't have any senior moments during the speech. And so I think he reviewed what he did in office and he encouraged people to vote for Harris. And I think the audience, of course, he was speaking to was outside the convention center, the voters. And I think this extravaganza the Democrats are putting on is very helpful to Harris's poll numbers. Now, anything can happen between now and November 5th. And Trump has a slight edge in the Electoral College, which is an arcane way that the U.S. chooses its president. So even if, as he did in 2016, even if he doesn't get as many popular votes, he can still win the election. So that's sort of an advantage from him. But the polling is flipped, and Harris does have a lead in most of these swing states. So we'll have to see what happens in the election.
Yeah, I'm interested to know, when you say swing states, does that include the Rust Belt and places like Pennsylvania? Because I was hearing she wasn't as popular there and that she needed to connect with those kind of voters. And although that said, she may not even need that path to the White House.
Well, if you can get enough other states, but I think both parties are really probably going to need Pennsylvania, because I think some of the swing states like Georgia and North Carolina may go to Trump. So I think Pennsylvania is the key state. And I think Harris may have made a mistake in not choosing the Pennsylvania governor as a running mate. Her running mate is excellent, but he's from Minnesota, and that's probably going to go Democratic. So it comes down to 7 states, basically. And it's the Rust Belt, it's the Southwest, and it's Georgia and North Carolina. So those are the 7 states in those areas. And the way the Electoral College system works in the United States, they'll just be campaigning in those 7 states. The rest of the country can watch it on TV, but those 7 states are going to get the visits from the presidential candidates and the vice presidential candidates.
Yeah, we know that the issue of Gaza is significant amongst, a decent section of Democrat voters. But do you think in terms of the wider electorate, it's a big election issue? Are we going to hear a lot about it between now and November? Do you think that if we do, it's going to have an influence on perhaps the US's position in that ongoing on the ongoing negotiations over a ceasefire deal?
Well, Biden has been pretty wed to Israel, whatever Israel wants, as your previous guest said. Kamala Harris is establishing at least a little distance herself, but I think she's going to have to support Israel too, because there's probably still more people that support Israel than the Gazans at this point in the United States. But this is unique in that the Palestinians have ever had any voice in the U.S. election, and that's because young people are concerned about the issue, and also people in states like Minnesota and Michigan primarily. And so this is a small portion of the Democratic Party, but every vote counts. I think that those people, probably most of them, will come home because Palestine is an important issue. But if they elect Trump, it's probably going to get worse for the Palestinians, and because Trump is more pro-Israel than Kamala Harris will be.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating between now and November. Ivan, really good to get your thoughts. Thank you so much, Ivan Eland there from the Independent Institute's Centre on Peace and Liberty.
Thank you.